It's a fresh morning with a fresh thunderstorm. The walls are shaking, the earth is quaking, lots of noise. Freaks out my kids. My daughter is really affected by the weather. Has a fear of the weather. Thunderstorms, to be exact. Not so much rain, but the sound. I don't know if you can hear that, but thunderstorms in the background. Big crashes of lightning. I think it's due to having been in 3 hurricanes by the age of 13. It's a lot. It's a lot for anybody. I myself have been in 6 now, most of which were in Florida, and the last being here in Asheville, North Carolina. Very unexpected. What I want to talk about this morning is the balance and the struggle of being an artist, especially in today's age of technology disruption like no other time that I've known in music or the music industry or music technology. I mean, you had digital take over analog. It was just another format. You did have a disruption when you had LimeWire and Napster and creating free music and peer-to-peer opportunity. With AI, it's significant. It's creating a lot of challenges for a lot of people. A lot of emotional and mental challenges. And because I work in AI, as a matter of fact, when this camera goes off, I go back to work. Because of AI, there's a lot more question, a lot more uncertainty that surrounds the livelihood of the creative artist. Being an artist is a struggle to fucking begin with. I mean, it's not easy. This life hasn't been easy. It's not something that is just handed to you. You're continuously working at it. You're constantly evolving. You're the only thing pushing you. And what's interesting is I've said this to a couple people, because of AI and its outstanding ability to replicate, it just proves to me that what I do really isn't that fucking hard, nor is it that valuable to anybody but me. And that's really what it comes down to. Which is one of the reasons I don't fear AI, because it doesn't represent me. It doesn't represent who I am as a creative. It doesn't necessarily fill any gaps. It doesn't help with my structure. It doesn't help with my personal goals. But what I will say is it does allow me to be slightly more efficient in my process. And that has value. That has significant value, especially when you're a lifer. Yeah, as a creative force. This is my life. This is what I do. This is what I've always done. You know, even when it comes to applying my knowledge and understanding of music to AI, it's still part of my learning process. It's still me investing in me, in my education, in my growth. And there's a certain confidence that is instilled with that. I mean, being a creative, it's embedded deep in the root of who I am. And I can't get away from it. It's 24/7. Always. It's always there. And it doesn't matter what I'm doing or where I'm at or even how I'm feeling. It's there. But there is a balance that I have nurtured. I think that's actually a really good word for this. Over time, that has allowed me to really figure out what is the most fulfilling possible way to be productive, to be creative in my own life. And that is to put my family first. They are, my children are my greatest efforts. They are my greatest art. They are my greatest creation. My relationship with my wife is just as valuable. It's something that is nurtured. It's something that has grown. It's something that has blossomed and continues to bloom seasonally. It's there. It's got a strength to it, a weight to it. And when I look at what AI is doing and I look at what I am as a creative, this creative life is something I was chosen to do. Some people say it's choice. The choice of me continuing to do it is mine. To confront it daily, hourly, that's my choice. But I can't run from it. I can't get away from it. I have tried. I have tried to quit. I mean, I have had moments where I just went, I can't do this anymore. This is fatiguing and detrimental to my mental and physical health. And I'm not talking about drugs or alcohol. I'm talking about dealing in the business itself of entertainment, of music. It's exhausting. I've represented some major clients and catalogs and collections of the deceased even. And it's exhausting. It penetrates you in a way that I never even had the idea of what it would feel like. It was a lot, to put it in the simplest terms. And at the same time, when I would find myself in a moment of silence, in a moment of meditation, and I shut everything off as I do every day, even more so now, I realized that none of it should be my concern. It's not mine. The only thing that I should be concerned about, really, is what is mine. My family, my health, my sanity, and my career. I was talking to a friend of mine who just put out an album after 25 years, put out his first effort. And I didn't even know. And I deal with him every day. He's in a project that I'm working on. And I said, Rune, when did you do this record? It just popped up on my, on my new artist releases on Tidal. And he was like, oh man, I've been working on that for the last 4 years. It's a collection of music that I've been working on. And I went, but you never mentioned this. And he said, I didn't want to mention it to anybody. I didn't do it for anybody. I never even let anybody listen to the songs over 4 years. Nobody had any idea what I was doing. I just made a record. I said, well, who played on it? Who are all these musicians? Tell me about the process, because I'm, just about to invest a lot of time into doing my own record. And he was like, the other thing was, I made sure that nobody had anything to do with it. There was no outside involvement by anybody at all. I had to force myself and push myself to create this record, every note of it. I was like, fucking A, man. Bravo. And in that moment, I realized, as we both discussed, that time is not on our side. We're on the back nine, as they say. Time really needs to be assessed as you get older, and what, again, is of value to you, especially when it comes to creativity. And the older I get, there is a greater urgency for me to get it out. And with that, I can't have any feeling of struggle. I can't have any feeling of fear or discontent in thinking about what it all means. Where is it going? Will it find a home? Is it going to fit on a playlist? Any of that. And there's a freedom in that. There's a freedom in relinquishing the struggle of the ego of I have to be validated by my art. I don't feel that anymore. I don't feel that urge, that rush, that anxiety of creating something that is fashionable or marketable. I want my shit to be of substance. I want it to be fully intact with my integrity, with my values, with my truth, with my authenticity, with my voice. And in order for me to establish that type of foundation for myself as a creative, it takes balance. And again, it takes nurturing. I have to nurture this beautiful gift. And nothing is more important to me. Nothing is more valuable to me in this life than being able to be present with the ones I love, doing what I love. And I kid you not, I literally go through this mental process of shutting everything else out. I realize in a split second, I am the only one sitting here right now. There's no voice on my shoulder. There's nobody around me. Nobody's home. In this moment, nothing else exists until I identify it or I acknowledge it. I mean, you're there. You're not here. And as you're watching this, you're there. And you might be alone. You might be in your own world. Hopefully, you're completely focused on what I'm saying, and the outside world doesn't matter. Maybe you've gone inside yourself to think about what I'm saying and consider how you might nurture your creativity and your relationships of value. But I understand more now that what I do is mine. AI is never going to take that. AI is never going to replace me. It's just somebody fucking having fun with technology and figuring shit out. And this is nothing new. Like I've mentioned in the past, synthesizers put string players out of work. Drum machines put drummers out of work. Pro Tools put tape ops out of work. And then streaming and downloading put the majority of artists out of work. There's a lot of bullshit going on in the world. A lot of struggle. That is something that we should pay attention to, because it does affect our lives and the lives of our loved ones. But you can't focus on that. I know way too many people that are focused on the what ifs. And I can't live like that anymore. I don't live like that anymore. I live in the what next? What now? And when I do that, I actually have a choice in what I'm doing. I get to make the choice of the next step. And I determine that by listening, by allowing life to direct me. I know what I have to do. I have responsibilities. I know how much money I have to make. I know the clients I need to attend to. I know what my obligations are. But when I meet those, and it's not that complicated, unless I make it that way, I make time and I find moments, a clearing in the clouds to pass through and reach the blue and be creative, be me. And as long as I can do that every day, I'm fine, man. I'm fine. But that's what I woke up this morning thinking about, was being a creative is enough of a struggle on its own, without the false narratives and the external, disruption that is life, if you allow it to be. So I'll leave you with that. Just find ways to be creative beyond the struggle, and realize that what you do is what has value. How you do it, why you do it, why you believe in yourself, what you stand for. AI stands for nothing. So speak your voice, put it into music, paint your picture, take your picture, dance your dance. Just make sure that it's yours. On that note, happy day to you, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. And thank you, Rune, for the incredible inspiration. And it's a wonderful record. Bravo. We should all be so lucky to have that type of experience, to just get lost in your own world and push ourselves to be the best that we can possibly be, as people and as creatives. Cheers.